to start a new chapter, that is soil erosion and conservation. The topics which we are going to study in this video are about soil and its formation, what is soil erosion, and the different agents of soil erosion like erosion by wind, erosion by water, and erosion by human activities. We'll discuss each one of them separately. We will also learn about the soil conservation, and in this soil conservation method we will learn about afforestation, growing grass, construction of dams, and terrace farming. So let's start the video. Soil. So let's start about what is soil. Soil is the part of the earth's surface consisting of humus and disintegrated rocks. As the uppermost layer of the earth, it is very important for all living things. Plants grow in soil. Basically, it is the foundation of life on the earth. It not only supports plant life but animals directly or indirectly depends on the soil. The soil is of the place loses its fertility because of the erosion. Now, let's understand how does the formation of soil takes place. First of all, let's discuss about the soil layers. The soil is composed of three layers. The first layer is the topsoil. The uppermost layer of the soil, which is rich in humus. It is fertile and is important for growing plants. So basically all the plants which are growing in the soil, the uppermost layer is called as the topsoil. The next part is the subsoil, which is below the topsoil. It is present below the topsoil and is rich in minerals and also contains the parent material from which the soil is developed. And the last part is the bedrock, which consists of a non-porous layer which is present below the subsoil. You can see in the picture that different layers of soil are shown in the picture. The first top layer is the topsoil, which consists of the plant, where the plant is grown basically. Next is the subsoil, where the formation of soil takes place. And the last is the bedrock, where it consists of a non-porous material, which is called as the bedrock or the parent rock. Let's move further. Weathering. What is weathering of rocks basically? The process of formation of soil is called weathering. How does it takes place? How does the soil formation takes place? The rocks break into small pieces that become smaller when they are rubbed by wind and water. So how is soil formed? The soil is formed when the large rocks break into smaller pieces, and when they are rubbed with the help of wind or water, they break into small tiny particles which make clay. Medium sized particles make silt and large sized particles form sand. So there are three types of things made out of that big rocks when the weathering takes place. Tiny particles make clay, medium particles make silt, and large particles form sand. Weathering of rocks takes place due to the rains, flowing water, heat, and winds. Basically, they help in the formation of soil. Rain, flowing water, heat, and wind. You can see in the picture that weathering of huge rocks is involved during the process of soil formation. So basically, what is weathering? It is the process of formation of soil. That how soil has been made is called as weathering. Our next topic is soil erosion. Very common topic. We all have learnt in previous sections classes also. The topmost layer of the soil is carried away by wind, rain, and floods. We all know that. Whatever is the top layer of the soil is always carried away by the wind or the rains or the floods. Now, what happens because of this? The carrying away of soil by the action of wind and water is known as soil erosion. So basically, when the topmost layer is taken away from that particular area of the soil, it is called as soil erosion. And why does it take place? Because of the action of wind or by the action of water. Now, what happens when this top layer is removed? What is the main reason? What happens because of soil erosion? Soil erosion leads to the loss of fertility, which causes damage to the fields. Loss of fertility means the plant cannot be grown at that place. The soil loses its fertility, the soil loses its hold for the plant. Decline in plant productivity. The plants will not produce at that place, and where the soil erosion is very large, and turns the area slowly into the desert, and slowly that particular area can convert into a desert if the soil erosion is there maximum. So you can see in the picture that when on one side I had shown that there are huge number of plants growing at that place, but suddenly it changed into a scene like desert because of the soil erosion. So how can we protect this soil erosion? First of all, we will learn about the agents and how it happens, and then we will learn about the protection. Agents of soil erosion. The different agents of soil erosion are erosion by wind, erosion by water, and erosion by human activities. Fine. Erosion by human activities involves basically large areas of forest are cut to meet the demand of wood and to create human settlements. A topsoil is easily washed or blown away. Cutting down of forest is known as deforestation. So this was about the human activities. Now, overgrazing by cattle in a particular area makes a land barren and causes soil erosion. You can see in the picture that deforestation has taken place. The cutting down of forest, cutting down of trees, overgrazing of cattle are the main causes of human activities. If we talk about erosion by water and wind, strong winds carry the soil easily to the topsoil, and because of that there is no vegetation, we have already discussed. And erosion by water also is already discussed, that heavy rains and floods are wash away the topsoil and causes soil erosion. Soil erosion by water is much more severe in hilly areas because river water flows faster on the slopes, and this makes the slopes unfit for the cultivation. Plowing also loses a soil, which causes soil erosion. The next topic is how we can conserve the soil. What efforts we can put on to conserve the soil, because these are the natural causes. The rain, the wind are the natural things which are not in our control. But how can we human beings can protect the soil from erosion? The protection of soil is called as soil conservation. The soil conservation erosion reduces the fertility of the soil. Now, what happens? As you all know that soil erosion reduces the fertility of the soil, and the protection of soil we need to do, and because of this soil conservation. So what efforts you can put? Afforestation, that is planting of maximum trees, growing of grass, construction of dams so that the water does not overflow, and terrace farming we should do. So what is afforestation? And if it is an effective method of soil conservation, afforestation means growing trees. This is because the roots of the trees hold the soil particles and prevent soil erosion. So by planting grass, bushes on the boundaries of farmlands, we can protect the soil erosion. Growing grass is also a method by soil is conserved. It is a good to grow grass on the land that is not being used for farming. The grass covers, you all know that the grass covers the topsoil. So if the wind is flowing with a very good speed also, then also the soil will not move because it is already covered by the grass. So growing of grass is a very good method for conservation of soil. Construction of dams. Flood causes a maximum loss for the topmost layer of the soil, right? So hence the dams and embankments should be built along the river bank so that the river water does not overflow and disturb the farms or the fields. Terrace farming is also a very good method. You can see in the last picture that terrace farming has been done. What is terrace farming? On the hills and slopes, farming is done by cutting the slope into steps. Basically they make steps or terraces. This reduces the slope length and reduces energy of the water. Now if a water is flowing on the steps, it will not flow with a very great speed. When the flowing water is coming from upwards to downwards, the energy of the water will come slow down, and also helps in reducing the soil erosion. So these were the four methods about soil conservation. Thank you and have a nice day. Please do like, share and subscribe.